Hello, everybody, and welcome to Shefan Pro's Empowered Women in Blockchains. I'm delighted here to have our fabulous first-time guest speaker, the lovely Mr. Raj Kapoor, a genius in the space, but also, you know, above all else, a really lovely human being with a great passion for helping others grow in the space and educating others. Just a super guy. What can I say? Raj, I'm delighted to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
It's completely my pleasure. It's really the pleasure to be with you all.
Thank you. Thank you. So I'm going to go right ahead and hand over to you, Raj, and please introduce yourself to everybody that's going to be watching back on the replay.
All right, here we go. All right, my name is Raj Kapoor, and Shelley just introduced me. Yes, I've been in the blockchain space, and I'll stick to my space because that's my favorite space. I've been here for the last 11 years, and 11 years has been a long journey in this space. In fact, in India, a lot of people call me the grandfather of blockchain. But that changed a little bit a few months back when actually one of my American counterparts, one of my partners there, we had done some great work together. And he rechristened me. He says, "You're not the grandfather of blockchain, you're the godfather of blockchain." So I said, okay, I'll happily don that title. That's a much better title to have than the grandfather. I'm not yet a grandfather, although because my daughter's not getting married very soon. So when she gets married, then we'll see. Anyways, I started my journey way back on December 19, 2010. A lot of people said, "What the hell were you doing with blockchain that time?" I said, "I was doing nothing with blockchain. In fact, I was mining." That was my first tryst with blockchain indirectly. I had no idea what to do in the evenings. One of my friends took me, I was in the United States at that time. I was doing a project for somebody. And one of my friends says, "What are you doing this evening? Come on, let's have a round of drinks." And I said, "Hey, I don't drink, guys." He says, "Okay, come on, we go to the bar or a pub or something." I said, "Listen, I prefer sitting at home and reading a couple of books." He said, "You're a real boring guy." So I said, "Okay, fine. I'm happy to be boring." He says, "Okay, let's do something which is more of your liking." Because at that time, I was upgrading my skills of learning new technologies continuously. And I was reading a lot. I was understanding new programming languages, which was difficult for me because I don't come from a technology background. And because I don't come from a technology background, everybody says, "Wow, you're in blockchain?" I said, "Yes, I'm in blockchain. You know, I can actually program in 37 different languages, and I can work on all blockchains anywhere in the world right now. All because I love that. It's a passion, and I've followed my passion." And that's that's what I tell all my viewers. You got to follow your passion. It's an old cliche, yes, but you still got to follow it. It still holds true. Anyways, I went with him to a mining farm where he took me and he said, "Listen, that's where you can get Bitcoins." I had no clue what were Bitcoins, but I minted my first, I think in a couple of days. Took me a couple of days to get a hang of it. And then I said, "All right, that's cool." And then I told him, "What am I going to do with this? Can I buy some vegetables with this?" He says, "It's worth a lot of money." I said, "No, it's not worth anything to me. When I go to India, can I buy vegetables? Can I buy my grocery? Can I buy milk?" He says, "No, you can't. But one day you will be able to." God bless his soul. He unfortunately, he passed away. He was my mentor, basically. He passed away in COVID last year. But he put me on a path which is what I call, and by the way, that's going to be the title of my book, which is going to come up in May or June. Somebody is writing a book on me, and that's called My Journey from Speculation to Revolution, from Crypto to Blockchain. And that's the title of my new book. Hopefully it should be out in May, because I don't give it much time. I'm traveling all the time or speaking somewhere or the other. So yes, that's going to be my title. And that is actually the revolution. The revolution is blockchain. It's not the crypto space. I enjoy all the spaces. You can't decouple them. I understand that. But it's the blockchain applications which I enjoy. And while we have so many use cases of blockchain, people will talk about multiple blockchains, multiple applications, multiple cross-border, cross-chains, parachains, all sorts of things. It's all great. But today I'd like to speak about blockchain from a very different aspect, actually. That aspect is where I use blockchain for good. Blockchain for a good social impact. That, I feel, is the bigger picture. The rest is great. Blockchains are always there for profit, but let's make blockchain for benefit. And that's where I actually am treading now. I've done a lot of work. I've worked on more than 30 to 40 use cases of blockchain in my last 10, 11 years. And that brought me to a juncture when I said, let's try and do something which will turn out good for the social impact, good for the people, good for the economy. I'm going to share today 3 or 4 beautiful use cases on what we have worked on, some small, some big, some complicated, some pretty simple, but using blockchain as the backbone, as the underpinning technology, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. If somebody asks me, what's your favorite? I'll start with that. Actually, it's very difficult to choose a favorite. It's like asking, which is your favorite kid? All of them are your favorites. You got a place in your heart for everyone. So, but I still have to start somewhere. I'll go with the one which is very close to my heart. I have, I think Shelley is also a part of 1 or 2 of these initiatives at some point. I don't know Shelley, but you're part of the DASI initiative. That's the Digital Art for Social Impact. Well, if you're not, let me introduce you to that. Well, there was this we had these little kids in Cambodia, started off from Cambodia, where these kids don't have basic education and they have no idea. And the parents also send them in the fields to work or to beg or to do menial work so that they can get a couple of alms and bring it home. Everything that adds up to the kitty. Now, that's not really a great thing. The kids have a right to study. They have a right to educate themselves. They have a right to make a choice in their lives. So we decided, one of my friends, a very good friend, Darren, and myself, we got together and said, well, let's make a little difference out here. So what was the first thing we did? We kept thinking how blockchain can be the enabler. So yes, he asked me, can blockchain be? I said, yes, it can be. So what did we do? We told all these kids, started about 100 of them, and said, listen, guys, make anything that comes in your mind. Draw something, paint something, create something. So all these kids, all kids love drawing and painting, and they created these little paintings and all. Very simple, yes, but we put it on. We started making. We made a platform and put it as an NFT. Well, we said this is a collectible with a purpose. Simple concept, nothing very complicated. So we put it on an NFT platform, and we were very happy. We got fantastic response from day one. And unlike a lot of people who struggle with digital art, etc., we not only had the painting, actual paintings, so we twinned it with the digital painting itself, and so people would receive that. And that money, we wrote a smart contract wherein the money would go straight to the parents, since kids can't handle money, and they were programmed in such a way that it would only be utilized for their education. It can only paid for education, not for buying a bicycle, not for having liquor or parties or a car or whatever. But bottom line, that's what it was for. So we used the concepts of blockchain, the NFT, giving them prominence, and using the blockchain technology, using smart contracts, bringing a very direct use case so that money which is received from the sale or the business does not get misused also, because at the end of the day, it's a temptation for parents as well. So kept the discipline in place. We started with Cambodia just a few months back. Very happy to share with you that now we are going to be going to Thailand, to Brazil, to India, to Bangladesh, to Sri Lanka, Nigeria, South Africa, and we already started our initiatives here. Today, it starts with a drawing or a painting. Tomorrow, we will have many more crafts and many more things. And these will be collectibles for people who want to also contribute to a social good, right? There's a bigger story behind that and how we're going to gamify it and bring it into the metaverse, but that's going to be second and third phases. We would like the first phase to be popular and enough people involved in that. So that's one of the very, very dear projects to me, very close to my heart. Another project which we are doing is in the Philippines. What are we doing in the Philippines? Well, it started off first, not in the Philippines, in Indonesia. It started off in Bali, actually, the island of Bali. Beautiful island. And we had gone there several years ago. And we saw one thing, that the tourists litter a lot. A lot of plastic waste was there on the beaches and on the beautiful greenery, and it could only be horrible plastic you saw all over the place after the holiday season, especially. So of course, every country has some missions toward removing plastic. So we said, why not we incentivize every child of the island to actually collect the plastic and get tokens in exchange every week. Somebody comes, collects, and there are tokens credited to their accounts, to their wallets. So we again use the blockchain theory, and then we could track exactly how the plastic was being utilized or recycled, and if it's whether it's the right people and they got the right price for it, and so on and so forth. I won't go into too many details, otherwise we'll end up talking technology, but it's the fun part, which I'm really interested in. It's the impact, what we did. Not only did we collect more than 1,700 kilograms of plastic, we took this to other places. Then Indonesia came in, and now the Philippines also is coming. It's a project called the Plastic Exchange, which got started up now. The Plastic Exchange, you can have a look at the website also. It's a beautiful initiative. Of course, the website is still to be updated because everybody has, any social impact, they're always short of money. We got the basic website set up, but now we're getting a lot of sponsors who are ready to either sponsor the events. We're doing a series of events of awareness creation, etc. And the best part is all school children, every child in these places is going to be taught the value of the environment and why plastic is definitely not good for it. I mean, we can't change the world, but we can make a small impact. We will do that. And the Plastic Exchange now also, within a very short time, comes to India, comes to Bangladesh, comes to all the places where there is not too much awareness about what plastic can do for our environment. Frankly speaking, it can go to any country, wherever there is less awareness or wherever people feel, all right, let's make a difference. Well, that's the second one, which is very close to me. The third one, which is very close to me, is the FOMA coin. I'm sure you are aware of that, Shelley. And that is a great thing for bringing the artisans of the globe onto a single platform. Having all their, they don't have the exposure. But here we're giving a chance to actually, we partnered with another very nice exchange called the EVE Exchange. And I've spoken to them. The partnership is yet to come through, but we've spoken to them. And they're very keen on partnering with FOMA. What are we doing at FOMA? Of course, it's, again, a reward-based system of an e-commerce system for all artisans to showcase whatever they have on the net. And the best part, we don't keep anything. We just take a small fraction of the amount of money for maintaining. The rest goes directly to the artisans. There are no middlemen. There's no exploitation, which again is the very fundamentals of blockchain. Using blockchain for good, that's another thing. Now, what else we do? We incentivize them, we get them tokenized, and there's a community which is built around that. It's like the barter system. They can exchange goods and services with each other, collaborate, make new products together. Started off in Africa, in Nigeria especially. Now, all over. Artisans are all over the world. So we are getting the globe. It's going to be a global platform for artisans on a tokenized platform on the blockchain. And the platform which I told you is going to partner with us is an exchange which allows any user to open a shop on the exchange and offer services or goods against crypto, making crypto more closer towards real world usage. And that's another thing embedded in this beautiful project. So when we have a FOMA coin, we have the DASI project. The DASI again stands for Digital Art for Social Impact. That's something which is growing very rapidly. And we have this, the Plastic Exchange. These are some fantastic ones we've done. Now, another one which we are doing now is, again, for educating the girl child. That's something which I do personally, and I'd like to share that with my viewers. In a country like India, the girl child is, and I'm sorry to say, they're considered a liability. I have a daughter. She's not a liability. She's my biggest asset. And I realized that when she flew off to Boston in 2010, and she went there for studies. She got a scholarship to Boston University to study film and television. And she did a bachelor's from there. And I said, wow, very proud of this girl. We came from a very normal family in India. And we have struggled our way up to come wherever we are. So she didn't have all the privileges we lived in we were good middle class, fine, yes, but Before that, really bad. She not only excelled there, and she started this, basically it was her initiative. And she, along with we both joined initiative. We used to, during her school, she had a compulsory assignment called socially useful productive work, which is a compulsory subject for them to do. And in that, we used to go to little shanties, and she used to teach the girls about hygiene, etc., and a little bit of education, etc. These girls don't go to school. In India, most girls, especially in tier 2 and tier 3 cities, don't go to school because they're considered, oh, they're going to get married and they'll be in the kitchen, helping the family, etc., etc. Unfortunately, that's the harsh truth. And we said, we can't change everything, but can we empower the girl child? So we actually sat down together. We were in Boston, I remember that. I remember having Chinese cuisine, very nice cuisine, before her college started, a day before that. And she said, Papa, I want to do something for these girls. I said, you're in Boston, girl. You're really far away. No, but I still want to do something for them. And we actually said, okay, what do you want to do? She says, let's sit down and empower them. Let's give them education. We started off, that was nothing to do with blockchain to start with. However, we started doing this work from 2010 or 11, 2011 when we started it off. And over the last 10 years, we now sponsor, and when I say sponsor, my wife and I, whatever we earn, 75% of our income goes towards educating these children. We don't take money from outside. But we actually contribute because we do earn well now. And we feel that, well, I'm going to eat 4 slices of bread, no more. Anything else that I'm stuffed anyway. So let's put it one side. So we believed in that. And we put away 75% of that for education. And we focused on tech education, or even STEM education, what we used to call it first. We brought them into, and they could be, in India, we have a lot of people who are maids and drivers, because they're not paid very well here. Chauffeurs are not paid well here. You can get a chauffeur in India for as much as about 150 pounds or 200 pounds for the whole month. And you can get a maid for half of that, less than half of that. That's what they're paid here. There's nothing. But they have kids. So we said we will spread the word only for these children who are bright, but they don't have an opportunity. Nobody's enabling anything for them. Nobody's opening the doors for them. They're exploiting them, yes. There are so many cases of that. And that we moved towards this. Now, today, during the lockdown, I put it all on the blockchain, completely on the blockchain. We track and trace the results and the monies which we have to put so that it goes to the right places, the right schools, or we allow ensure that they get their report cards uploaded on this. And now I'm feeding the DASI project. Also, they make the little paintings, and we put it under the DASI project. So we're giving them a chance to earn while they learn. And that itself, again, I think we're doing something nice within that space. Now, these are small things, not very complicated. You can't complicate it in technology, but you can enable and leverage technology for making things look and do better. The one which I think is, again, very, very close to my heart, and most of them are, I can't say which is the best, but this is something which is creating a major social impact. And we are going to launch this app sometime in the month of May. Of course, I will announce it that time. But here's a preview. What happens, one of the biggest problems we face in this world, especially women, is patriarchy. We've seen that at all levels, at the workplace, at home, everywhere. I don't even have to spell it out. And we feel that women don't have the right platform to talk about it. Some of them, in India especially, they think it's a stigma. It's not, society will not accept them. People will not get married to those girls. They have, there is a sexual assault on them. There is sexual harassment. And also these girls then stop going to work and stay at home. There are a lot of too many problems. And patriarchy is at all levels. We've seen it at home. We've seen it in offices. Coming back, so what did we do? During this COVID, I sat down with a lot of these girls, which we actually train, and a lot of them are on blockchain technology, and said, come on, girls, let's make something which is going to have an impact. So we asked them, what is your biggest problem? And that's the answer. So I said, they said, sir, how can we have blockchain find a solution for this? I said, see, nothing's going to all go away, but let's try and build a platform on the blockchain. And that's what we did. Now, what do we do in this platform? The interesting part is we got a lot of stakeholders in this platform. So a girl who's had a bad experience, who has had a rape or a sexual harassment with her, or other forms of patriarchal issues, she has a platform to go and remain anonymous, because that's one of the key fundamentals of blockchain. You can go onto the platform, remain anonymous, speak to a lawyer without revealing your identity. She becomes a digital identity, and the digital identity speaks to these lawyers who are all pro bono. There are lawyers, there are self-help groups, there are NGOs, there are counselors, there are psychiatrists, everyone on the platform. There are job consultants, everyone on this. We've got a whole ecosystem built on this. And the best part is, if I want to reveal my identity, I can. If I don't have to. Also on the platform, we mapped all the police stations where she can make a complaint officially online. And if she wants to go in person, whichever female inspector or policewoman is there on job, if they feel uncomfortable speaking with a male. So we created this platform. Then we had the forensics department also linked, because forensic reports can be fudged. All the things like that. It happens in India a lot. It happens in most developing countries, and maybe even other countries also. I'm not very aware of how it happens in the West, but here definitely I know it happens. So sometimes they put pressure on the girl, give them money, or bribe the officials to change the report, etc. If it's a rape case or something. So we put the forensics all on the blockchain. So once it's on that, it's immutable, cannot be changed. And the FIR, or the first information report, which is filed, also it's uploaded onto the blockchain. Thereby, nobody can have allegations that, no, it's been fudged, it's been changed, it's been adjusted, so on and so forth. That is the beauty of what blockchain brought to it. So now, if I have had a problem, if I have been sexually harassed or have been raped, sorry to use the word, but that's exactly what it is. It's a harsh word, but we live in a harsh world. And this is agnostic to any woman from any country in the world. We are making it, we've done the pilots just now, and we are launching this in the month of May or June. They're doing the pilot. And we've got a lot of support from all these volunteers from many, many, many countries who say, well, we were happy to lend a year, we are happy to guide them. So they get career guidance. We've even put a lot of articles for them to read, so that they don't have a psychological problem, or they don't, oh, I'm not going to study anymore. They can do online studies. There are online courses if they feel scared for some time to move out into the society. And there are counselors who do, everybody does it pro bono. Nobody takes a single dime. That's the beauty of what we've done. We've actually given them a platform. We've given them a voice. Why anybody can come in, even if a man says, I have also been harassed in some way, he can also come in. It's not that it is meant only for women, but primarily it started for women. So, and it was created by the same people, by the same girls whom we have adopted for the blockchain space and for the tech space. But that, I think, gives multiple benefits of what blockchain can do in a space where people can always link it with major processes, workflows, proof of stake, all consensus. I think the consensus here is we are doing consensus. This is called consensus for good. And tomorrow we can use the same people and measure consensus through good. We can have a completely changed mechanism. So it's, so instead of blockchain or business for profit or blockchain for profit, we can have blockchain for benefit and have that as a consensus mechanism. Let's see, we never know, it can work. I'm trying to get in as many people to buy into that thought as possible. And through this medium also, anybody wants to learn more about it, always happy to share with you. I speak a lot at many events, and I always speak on these events more than other events. Everybody asks me, what all have you done in blockchain? I said, I've done a lot of things. Land titling, I've figured on the blockchain. I've done credentialing on the blockchain. I've done supply chain on the blockchain. I've done renewable energy on the blockchain. I've done so many things. But what's the real story? The real story is where blockchain can be implemented, and technology, not just saying only blockchain, but because I speak more on blockchain, I'm just showing and sharing how blockchain has really made impact. And this is just the very beginning. We're also tracking for an Indian NGO, not NGO is a non-government organization, which is a social service organization, where we are actually tracking their midday meals on the blockchain. So we know that the meals reach the kids and they're not taken off the system in the middle and sold off for profit. So right from those, there are so many use cases I can talk about. But these are a few which are very close to my heart, where I worked on personally and where I've seen the impact. But before winding off, I would like to share one of my favorite projects. It's called the Rohingya project, because that is one of the first impact projects we did. The Rohingya projects is a project. Rohingyas are a community which are not wanted by any country, unfortunately. Their lands are usurped. They're never given jobs. Nothing happens. They are absolutely clueless. They don't even have their own identity. Nobody gives them an identity. They cannot open bank accounts. They are completely the forgotten refugees. They come from Myanmar, Burma, and they originally come from there, but they are spread across multiple countries, including India, Bangladesh, Saudi, Middle East. There are quite a few places where they are there. Now, this community wanted a voice. They wanted a platform. They wanted to be heard. Who's going to hear them? They made several petitions, even to the United Nations. Then ultimately, an initiative of United Nations, George Washington University, and a couple of other good partners, including us, we went together and said, let's make a solution for them. Let's create something. So we created a platform, and that you can see at the rohingyaproject.com. You can have a look at it there. It's a beautiful project. We created a platform, created an R identity. And I say we, it's a consortium of partners. So our identity, where each one of them have got their own digital identity, which is in lieu of a social security card. Nobody gives it to you. We create our own. We created a community coin called the R coin. R for Rohingya, coin. A coin for the community. And we got everybody involved and had a consensus team set. We had a core team set up and decided how many coins and did the tokenomics of it completely. All these are, again, all blockchain aspects, all facets of blockchain. So we did the tokenization. We brought in that. We brought in the archives. We created our archives so they could archive their land documents. They could archive the history. So people could see, yes, this is what it is. This is the provenance. And then we created our study or our education, where we do a lot of courses, free courses, including George Washington University. Many other people came in and said, okay, here, you can study. We are now empowering you. And that's what we did. We created that platform, social and financial inclusion. So it has a bank, which is basically a complete crypto bank, a coin bank within the community. And the community now has a voice. It has an identity. People from the last year when it started now, more than 10% of them have actually got mainstream jobs, have bank accounts now, and have an actual social security card of the country where they've been living, where they have been denied this so far. That, I think, was really major impact. Doing a similar project now for, well, I won't, we are creating, do you know that something, this is very interesting, and I'd love anybody to collaborate on this with me. We are creating a coin for the Buddhist community. It's a very large community. It's a Buddha coin. I have one gentleman from South Korea. He has come down specifically to meet us in India to create the Buddha coin. Basically, the concept being the community coin, which we created for the Rohingyas. He had read about it somewhere. He came to me and said, we'd like to have it for the Buddha community. And today, we are going to do this for a lot of other communities. Finally, we're doing another major project in Africa, that's right across Africa. All the different refugees in Africa, when I say there are many refugees in Africa from many, many countries, again, all living nomadic lives. Step Up is the step, we kept the name Step Up, Step by Step. And we kept that name, and we are helping these communities get empowered on a blockchain platform, again, on the lines of what we've done for the Rohingyas, only this is much larger. Again, they don't want money from us. They don't want anything. They say, give us skills. So we are collecting all skill providers, putting them on our blockchain platform and dispensing skills to them. As they say, you give him a fish, he'll eat one time, but if you teach him how to fish, he'll have a lifetime. That's what we're doing. And that's what I would like to round up this discussion with. I believe that we can all do a lot, whether it's for women, whether it's for refugees, whether it is for the older generation. And very small project, which I'll just talk about. I forgot to mention that earlier. Not much on blockchain in that, but a lot of social impact. I just want to share that with you as well. We recently are setting up a very large campus, and in the campus is beautifully integrated in such a way that we house all orphans and the other senior citizens who've been either abandoned by their families or now have been left in or care homes, and they come and work with these little kids. And we are going to make an NFTs after that. We'll be putting it on the blockchain a little later, but right now we're making it as a community. Orphans, they don't have parents, senior citizens whose children don't want them or they don't have children, bringing them together and making a very beautiful social impact, making them share their skills with the kids, and each one will teach these kids, bring out, and that's more social impact. That's it from me, Shelley. I think that would be more than sufficient. Otherwise, wow. I can keep going on and on.
And you know, Raj, we could listen to you all day, you know, all day long.
Yeah.
Absolutely fabulous. I mean, you know, the impacts and everything that you're a part of and that you're creating with such social impact and everything is just absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? You know, and I know I could sit and listen to you all day long, actually, because it's just absolutely it's outstanding. You know, I struggle to find words just to really explain how amazing it is. You know, the work that you do and that you're involved in, and the passion that you have, you know, it's beautiful, it's refreshing, it's lovely to see. And you know, I am certainly honoured to have you as well at Shifan Pro as advisory board member to Shifan Pro. You know, I know with you in that position, you know, we'll have a lot of social impact ourselves and be part of, you know, what you're doing as well. It's a huge honour. So
it's my pleasure to be with you, Shelley. I know you're doing some good work as well. Social impact will definitely be one of the things as we go forward. I know that. It's just a question of putting it out to the world. The world should know that there are a lot of people working towards that. We are a minority, yes, but that's not the end game. The end game is yet to come. We got a lot more to do.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you, Raj. And
yeah,
I'd just love to know that you'd come back and join us again sometime soon and share and update us on everything that you've shared today, because I'm fascinated, and I'll certainly be getting involved wherever I possibly can as well, because you know, absolutely. So please keep me appraised, and
I will.
let me know.
I will. I always keep you. I know that I can always count on Shelley to read what I send. That's one thing. And Joanne as well always you know, reshares my posts. And through this, I would like to share anybody who would like to be involved in any of these projects. Please feel free to contact me. I'm on LinkedIn. That's the only place I am. I'm not on Facebook or Insta, but I'm on LinkedIn. And or you can find me on indiablockchainalliance.org. Sorry, and I'm very much there. We are not for profit. What we do is we are more for impact. Feel free to reach out to me, either to me directly or Shifan Pro. I'm with Shifan Pro as well. I'm an advisor, as Shelley said. Yes, you can always reach out to me from any of these places. Always happy to help out. Always happy to incubate new ideas. If you have ideas, share them with me. We'll make it a way to tokenize and reward people through the blockchain, through a tokenized economy, through the economies of our future.
Perfect. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Raj, so much. And yes, I'm really looking forward to seeing you again, and we'll definitely be catching up soon, and hoping to create further impact moving forward. It's absolutely fabulous. Thank you, Raj.
My pleasure. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, Joanne.
Thank you, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.